you know, the older I get, I realized that I wasn't meant for every room. And that's okay. That's okay. Honestly. You know, when I was younger, I used to try to be accepted. I remember when I was younger and I was in school, it was times when I would see people getting picked on for not having like a certain type of shoes and having a certain type of clothes and stuff like that. And I made it a point. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm gonna come to school fly every day, cause it's like, man, I ain't finna get picked on. So me being fly was like kind of like it came from a place of like fear, but also wanting to be fly too. But it was, I can't act like that. I can't act like fear didn't play a role in that too. Cause I did not want to be talked about. I didn't want to be picked on for not having the right shoes on or not having nice clothes on or whatever. So I would work the whole summer, get my gear up, get my paper up, so I can go back to school and, you know, look like it, you know? For sure, I ain't gonna lie to you. But it got to a point where I realized that was really performative. You performing. And performing isn't authentic. It's protection. A lot of people not gonna talk about that though. A lot of people ain't gonna talk about that though. We getting real today. Performing ain't really authentic. It's fake. You doing that for a certain outcome, hoping that people will perceive you a certain way. That's why I say I'm not meant to be in every room, bro. There's certain things I just don't like to do. I used to like doing certain things when I was 17. I don't like that now. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, bro. I used to love watching sports all the time. I used to love it. Big sports head. I don't really care about it as much. I might watch a game or two, you know, with the guys or whatever. I might, you know, Super Bowl, watch a game, catch a game. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm not infatuated with it no more. When I was in middle school, high school, college, I used to be Sports Center, ESPN every day. That ain't me no more. And that's okay. I ain't finna act like that's me, because it ain't. It just ain't. You know? Some people might say, oh, you changed. You used to be woo-woo. You right. I did. I did change. I did. But, you know, that don't mean that I don't love you. That don't mean that we still can't kick it. Certain things I just don't like to do no more. Like that. You know? My focus just be on different stuff. My attention be on different things. Not saying that my way is the right way. It just is what it is. You know? It just is what it is. I would rather be myself. I would rather be rejected for being who I truly am than be accepted for nothing that I'm not. For something that I'm not. Because that's fake. And you're going to have to wear that mask forever. Imagine that. Imagine you craving acceptance so bad you willing to disappoint yourself. You willing to disappoint your soul for the acceptance of others instead of yourself. Imagine that. How can you live with yourself long term doing something like that? You can't. That's why a lot of people, they smoke, they drinking. They doing a lot of crazy stuff. I ain't gonna say it's crazy. In moderation, that ain't too bad, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you trying to cover something up, when you know you hurting, because you doing this thing and you don't wanna really address that, you know, you get to a point where it's like, damn. Get to a point where it's like, damn, like, I gotta numb the pain, you know? And that's what be happening. That's what happens. That's why I say, man, if you authentic, you might not be the most popular, but you gonna go to sleep good at night. You might not be the most popular, but you gonna go to sleep super good at night. Cause you know that you stay real, you stay true to yourself. If you stay true to yourself, that's really all you gotta do in this life, bro. Stay true to yourself, bro. Cause everything trying to get you to conform and, no, go my way, go this way, go this. What's going on in your soul? What your soul wants you to do? What God wants you to do? Go with that. Don't just do what everybody else doing because it seems right. You know, it's comfortable. Now, do what your soul say do, bro. Do what your soul say do. Because that's the only way you're going to feel fulfilled. That's the only way. And if you keep living this fake double life, guess what's going to happen? You're going to probably overindulge in narcotics, in alcohol to numb the pain, probably sex, something like that, just to numb the pain. When you can just be real and get that initial pain of everybody who thought you was one way leaving because you really this way, or, you know, you can stay the same and have external validation and external success, but internally be dead. The choice is up to you, you know? That's all I got for today. I'm just speaking what's on my heart, what I've been thinking today, so it's Sean Mighty and I'm out, for sure.